You're listening to a broadcast of a debate between Mayor Dale Meyer and challenger Ted Paul from the auditorium of the Petoskey High School. It's sponsored by the Petoskey High School Student Council. Next question goes to Ted Paul. A number of Bay Harbor residents are dissatisfied with the city services they receive. What steps as mayor can you take to alleviate the concerns?
Thank you, Bob. I've tried to investigate this issue a little bit. I've heard more about it only recently, especially with the article in the News Review. And what really struck me, besides the problems they face and the issues they face and their concerns seem to be certainly about they pay a high amount of taxes. They pay the same tax rate as all of us in the city, but they do have expensive properties, and they generate 52% of the tax base from property taxes in the city. And they're concerned about the services they get. Road and street upkeep and improvements was one, parks and recs facilities was another, and the fire station, which is currently being worked upon. But what I wanted to say is what really struck me is their comment that they felt city officials had not responded to multiple requests by them to address this tax situation. And this seems to be a recurring theme in this city, that city officials have not responded to multiple requests, and that bothers me. I'd like to know who they made the request to. Was it the city manager? Was it the mayor? I've never heard council talk about these requests ever. So that's something we certainly need to do better, is start to engage these people and talk with them, get better, hear from them what their concerns are, and try to work out a solution. So I think that's going to be very important going forward.
Dale?
Yep. As far as response to that, certainly there has been some issues raised in the News Review. That is a 425 agreement out there, which basically does not annex that property to the city, but for all intents and purposes it does. We provide all types of services out there, whether it be police, fire. We also we don't provide them with electric because that was contracted through CMS, but we do have water and sewer out there. I think part of the contention is the fact that they don't get road service out there, and those as far as plowing and maintenance. We are working on that. The problem with that particular situation is that it is a private road system out there. Most of you know it's in behind a gated community. And in the course of the last, actually a couple of years since I've been mayor, I've actually met with 3 different groups out there, focus groups discussing this issue. I've met most of the people, Bill McCormick and Bill Heflin, and a bunch of those people that are involved with the tax questions. We certainly are in discussion mode with them, and we have discussed this with them over the course of a couple of years. We have also been working with the public safety station, which is out on the highway, and we currently are looking at the Western Concrete building to house that particular unit. So when you look at whether there's an issue out there or not, certainly there could be, but there's a half a dozen people that are talking about it. There are 30 associations out there with thousands of people. So whether these 6 or 10 or whatever the number is represent the majority of Bay Harbor, that's still yet to be determined. Certainly as mayor, I would like to see that if you're paying taxes, you ought to get equal benefit for what you're paying. And they currently, and I'll admit to it, they are not. But that partly is part of their own choice. It's kind of like you paying taxes for the library living in town, but refuse to go to the library. You still pay for those taxes, but that's your choice, and that's where we are with Bay Harbor.
Rebuttal, Ted?
Yes, I just have a few things to say. I guess for the notion, is there an issue out there? The answer is decidedly yes, as these people apparently have contacted an attorney, and it could involve litigation with the city of Petoskey. So I would definitely call that an issue. It's 52% of the tax base, and some certainly successful and intelligent people out there. It is a little disturbing for the mayor to say he's met with them, yet to hear them say that they're frustrated that city officials have not responded to multiple requests. I wish the mayor would have brought this issue to city council. Council is the legislative and decision-making body in the city. City council is the group that sets the millages. So that's the group who should be talking about this issue.
Well, that's fine and dandy there, Dr. Paul, but you know, the thing was I was invited out there at their request, and I went out as an individual to hear their complaints. At that particular point in time, You know, it was just a informal discussion stage. And certainly I believe it's still to be that way, but in the meantime, they've released that information or that complaint to the newspaper, which has brought it up as an issue. Whether they have hired an attorney or not, that is debatable, but certainly they could be looking at their legal options. And we will continue through our special legal counsel to address any and all questions that they have. You know, moving forward though, we still need to be looking at providing them with a public safety station on the highway, and certainly going into next year, that's certainly one of the areas that we tend to continue working on and provide them with something that they sorely need out in that area.